with you.
Yes, ma'am. We missed you, ma'am.
Yeah, I've also missed you more, I guess. So, yes, Merry Christmas and
Happy New Year.
advance in advance Happy New Year. So that we will be saying towards the end of the today anyway. So how are you all? So I hope you have had a lot of practice with advanced data structure, and also you have completed, sir was telling me, web technologies. So now you are definitely in a better place than you were earlier in the manner of a lot of practice and confidence also. So let's keep up that good note. Continuing in that, let me, as usual, our pattern. I hope you've not forgotten it. So I had requested all of you to log in with your computers so that, whatever, now we are in the second half of your core Java. So we have couple of topics remaining. You must be knowing it already, looking at your contents. Main topics are continuation of collection framework. And then I'm going to start on IO, Java 8 new APIs, Java 8 new features, and then threads are going to be the main. And then we are going to start your advanced Java. So we have a couple of things to wrap up. Let's get started. So to tell you about today's agenda, we are definitely, since we are meeting after a long time, we will be doing a quick revision. I hope ma'am has already got the revision part done, so you won't feel disconnected. And you have done basically the data structures also, so that will help you a lot. So after doing the revision, we are going to start a new topic as ArrayList. We had already started and talked about it, but we have not talked about linked list. Have you created your own custom linked list in your ADS, Advanced Data Structure? Okay, so now it is going to reach you very fast. You'll see the difference in the earlier sessions and now, since you have a lot of practice in the earlier days. So we'll talk about that. Then I want to show you some more syntax in generics. So wildcard, question mark, unbounded wildcards, upper bound, lower bound and all. Then till now, we were using, what is it? Like Java 7, the older Java APIs for datetime handling. And there were a lot of problems associated with it. So we are going to upgrade it to Java 8 API. And then time permitting, we will enter the set interface and implementation class. But as you know, we don't have the full day. We started late. I did not want to burden you on the first day itself. So we'll see whatever we cover today. Otherwise, we'll continue to tomorrow. So here, in the revision part, let us start with the revision of quick revision of collection framework overview. You already have the diagrams from our day 13 help. So I'll just, actually it is in day 12 looks like. Just give me a second. Yeah. So I'm just revising that. So everyone is on the same page and no confusion, nothing. So, collection framework is nothing but the ready-made implementation of data structures as well as data structure algorithms in Java. So start answering. Was it possible for you to change the size of the array dynamically? It's a Boolean question. You know that, yes or no types. Everyone knows the answer. It was not possible. Was it possible for us to insert or delete the element in the existing array easily? Answer is no again. Was it possible to sort the arrays in an easy manner or search for an element in the array without writing the loop and all? Answer is no. So all these answers turn to yes the moment you enter collection framework. So guys, you have already run on your own customized data structure. So that part, of course, we are not repeating. So what or rather what we have done and will continue to do is ready-made implementation. So you know how important this diagram is. So keep it in front of you anytime you are revising collection framework. Ask your seniors and they will tell you unanimously, one of the most important favorite topic in Java, core Java interview questions is collection and the other one is thread. So accordingly, we'll be spending time. Okay, so start with the revision. If anything is not clear, of course, you can ask questions anytime. Only thing is there are ahead of topic questions, we will discuss it later. So what is the starting point of the collection framework overview? Actually, the answer is collection interface and below is one half, and the second half is map interface and below. But for the practical requirements, there is a super interface of collection. So which is the super interface of collection? Iterable. So let me ask you, is it a generic interface or a non-generic interface? Simple question. The moment you see angle, bracket, and type, generic types, everyone knows it's a generic interface. And what does a T stand for? T is nothing but the type of the element. Can it be replaced by a primitive type or a reference type? P or R? It can be only replaced by reference types. Very right. So it looks like you have done your homework properly. And then it can be replaced by either your upper classes, integer, long, short, float, or employee, customer, bank account, anything. And when you say iterable interface, is it a part of standard part of collection framework? Answer is no. But then why we have drawn it? It is extremely important because which is the important method of the iterable interface? Answer is iterator. What is the name of the method? Lowercase I iterator. What does it return? It returns you the iterator object. So when you say, suppose somebody gives you a class such as, ArrayList, LinkedList, Vector. These are all the list implementation classes. So can you say ArrayList is a iterable? Again, a Boolean question, yes or no? Answer is yes. ArrayList is a iterable. It is all inheritance. Everyone knows that. So in that case, will you be able to attach an iterator to the ArrayList? It's a yes or no question. Answer is yes again. Everyone understands what I'm saying, right? So ArrayList is iterable. So you will be able to attach an iterator. But instead of attaching the explicit iterator and going through it, will you be able to attach it implicitly using for each? 100% yes. Are you understanding? So the point I'm trying to revise is any class which has implemented iterable interface, will you be able to attach for each for its iteration to traverse over the elements? Yes or no? Answer is 100% yes. So that is why understanding iterable right at the top of the hierarchy is important. Now, what is the relationship between iterable and collection? Is it is a relationship or is it a has a relationship? Is a or has a? Of course, is a. It is all inheritance. There is no association here. Collection is a sub-interface of iterable. Anyone wants to tell me which is the keyword which it will use to associate sub-interface with a super interface? You have two options, extends or implements. Absolutely right. I'm so happy to see correct answers. It is extends. The relationship between is a relationship between interface and implementation class is via which keyword? Is it extends or implements then? That is class and interface is implements. Class to class extends. Subclass extends from a superclass. Sub-interface extends from the super interface. Okay, so now when you talk about collection, does collection interface have any concrete implementation class? Answer is no, because it does not impose, it does not specify any particular behavior, such as duplicates are maintained or non-maintained, not specified. How will it use the searching or sorting algorithms? Not supplied. Okay. So what are the methods you have in the collection interface? You have add. So add will add the element. Add all is for bulk addition. Anyone remembers contains? What is contains used for? Which operation? Contains method will be used for which operation? Let me see your answer. Searching. Absolutely right. So this is for searching. Then removing the element. removing all the element from a specified collection, retaining the element, finding the size, etc. So I'm just going through the inheritance hierarchy, iterable extended by collection. And now collection has two sub-interfaces. So out of that, we had started and completed part of the list implementation. So one is list and the other one is set. So currently ignore the set, focus on list. So list is a sub-interface of collection, meaning list extends from collection. So now let me start asking you questions. Already there are answers here. Is it a ordered collection or unordered collection? O or UN? It's an order collection. What is the meaning of the statement? Does it remember the order of insertion? 100% yes. If you add the elements in the list, and then if you attach an iterator and try to display the element, it will remember the order of insertion. Order is significant. Does it support index-based operation? 100% yes. Can anyone give me the example of any index-based operation? That this is where you are using the index. Index of, very right, Shin. Anything else? Yes, index of accepted. Anything else? You remember get method. In goes the index and out comes the element reference. You remember there is an add method with index, which is insert. Insert the element at a particular position. Yes, Rajni. That is remove the element by at a particular index. Or there is a set method to replace the element, right? So these are all the index-based operations I was talking about, or I mean, as an example. Will it allow you to insert the duplicates in the list? Yes, again. Will you be, this is not practical, this is like a useless objective, but technically speaking, will you be able to add the null reference in the list? Yes, again. So these are the list features, but all these while if you look at your iterable, collection and the list, all of them were interfaces. So tell me, can you create the instance of the interface in Java? Absolutely not. So writing on the interfaces, what is it you are supplying? Specifications or implementation? Specification alone. So now we are talking about the implementation classes, which are here. So which is the implementation class we had started looking at was ArrayList. So now guys, I can talk to you in a more formal manner since now you have a data structure background. So let me ask you. I mean, not immediately, but yes, over time. There are three implementation classes, ArrayList, LinkedList, and a vector. So talk about ArrayList. We have not yet done the threads. I told you long back, threads is going to be our last topic of core Java. I mean, last major topic. So ArrayList is inherently thread safe or thread unsafe. Answers are right in front of you. I just want you to read that. Thread safe, S. Thread unsafe, UN. Thread unsafe. Okay. So thread unsafe means it is also called as unsynchronized. But what is that synchronization? What is it involving thread safety? All will be covered in multi-threading topic. When you create an array list using the default constructor, for array list, there are two features. One is the size and one is the capacity. So when you use the default constructor, what will be the value of the size? 0. And what will be the value of the initial capacity? 10. Okay. So now tell me, when you say initial capacity 10, how many references can be added to this array list without reallocating the memory? Obvious question, obvious answer. How many elements can be added is 10. Absolutely correct. So now tell me, if I add the 11th element means element reference. You know, collection is collection of references, right? So if you add the 11th reference, will you get some, index out of bounds exception, or will it do the automatic memory allocation? Yes, absolutely right. It is a dynamically growable list. So who will perform this memory allocation? Somebody already answered. JVM will perform this. And what is the what is the formula JVM typically uses internally is 1.5 the original capacity. Absolutely correct. So that is about your ArrayList default constructor. Can you initialize the ArrayList with a larger capacity than 10? 100% yes. So that is your second constructor, ArrayList with the initial capacity, size is still 0. And the third one is you can also create a populated ArrayList using the collection of any type. So all that will come to you with the examples. So now if you compare the data structures, ArrayList and vector both are backed up by what? A internally growable array. So ArrayList and vector are memory wise or memory allocation wise or the internal data structure wise based on the growable array. What is the major difference between an ArrayList and a vector? Answer is again in front of you. The major difference is, yes, thread safety. ArrayList is inherently thread unsafe. Vector is inherently thread safe. So tell me, if you compare the performance between ArrayList and a vector, I already got it from Anshumala. That is, ArrayList will be faster or a vector will be faster. ArrayList will be faster. But when we talk about, multiple threads sharing the same copy, we'll talk about the locks and you'll understand everything inside out. Now, if you talk about, so that was your ArrayList versus vector. But if you talk about ArrayList versus LinkedList, okay, sorry, before that, another small difference between ArrayList versus vector. In ArrayList, if you use this default constructor, you already told me the capacity increments by 1.5 times. In vector, does anyone have any idea what is the capacity increment? It is double the capacity. Very right, Sakshi. It is the vector is, whenever the initial capacity is over, the double the capacity, it is incremented, right? Now people ask you mainly the difference between ArrayList versus LinkedList. So you have done LinkedList. So I'm not yet starting into LinkedList. We are still into the revision. After the revision is over, I'll get you into LinkedList. But you tell me, there are two types of LinkedList. One is singly linked list, one is a doubly linked list. So before I talk about it, what is a linked list? Is it memory allocated into contiguous memory locations or is it disjoint? How can you say continuous after doing your data structure? It is nothing but the chain of nodes. Non-contiguous memory, exactly, Yash. So it is nothing but a chain of nodes. And when I say those nodes, will they be arranged contiguously in the memory? As in the array structure? Absolutely not. Those nodes can be anywhere. So when I take you to pictures and diagrams, I'll show you the linked list pictures. So if I say singly linked list, there will be data. And what else will it give? Will it have the pointer to the next node or will it have the pointer to the earlier node, next or previous, N or P, address of the next node? Very right. And if I say doubly linked list, what will it maintain, guys? It will maintain both the pointers, the pointer to the previous node as well as pointer to the next node. You are absolutely right. So now let me check your data structure understanding. Okay. So let me ask you, if your Java application has got lot of operations to insert the element towards the beginning of the list or somewhere in between the list, what will you choose? Will you choose ArrayList or will you choose linked list? Which will be a better performant? A linked list is a good option. Absolutely right. So if you typically want to insert it in the beginning of the list, will you have to, if it was an ArrayList, I'll say ArrayList. Suppose I want to insert the element right in the beginning. What is it will have to do for the remaining elements? Of course, they will have to be shifted right with one position. Index has to be incremented by one. So of course, I said about ArrayList. Okay, so that has to be done. But if I talk about linked list, does any shifting right or shifting left is involved? Absolutely not. So if I want to insert the element, I'm going to show you with diagrams. I'm just checking your understanding. So what happens here is you just have to adjust the pointers. Okay, so if you are putting, yeah, constant time, I'm coming to that. So the point is you just have to adjust your previous and the next pointers. Yes, head pointer will be changed. Earlier it was null, so now it will be modified. So we will talk about in detail later. But the point is, if you have insertion and deletion, which will offer you a better constant time performance, such as O1 factor, ArrayList or linked list. But if you are doing some index-based operation, index-based searching, get searching by index, which will guarantee you O1 factor, ArrayList. Absolutely correct. And which will give you a variable ON factor dependent upon the size of the list. It is the linked list. Absolutely correct. So these are the differences. And of course, I'll talk about internal memory structure and I'll show you through the diagrams. So this is what you knew about list implementation classes. And then you have something like collection extended by time complexity. Yes, Rohit. Time complexity was, when I say O1 and ON, you already know that you have done your advanced, data structure course. So O1 factor, time complexity, ArrayList for searching by index. That will be ON factor for linked list for searching by index. And for insertion deletion, opposite, ArrayList will offer you ON and linked list will offer you, typically I'm saying, O1 factor. That's the time complexity. We are talking about the same, Rohit. Now, so coming back to the point, collection interface is extended by set and set has various implementation classes. So when we finish the discussion on the list, I'll take you to the sets. So this is the part I wanted to revise as a quick recap. Next one. So here, you have to tell me, because it is all up to you. It is all up upon you. So I had requested, sir, have you revised thoroughly on your own with the help of ma'am the last example which we had written, test employee organization? Has everyone done that? So because then I will not be wasting time on that or investing time in that. If you want me to explain anything, any of this option, tell me openly. Okay, so that this is today's, we are reconnecting with each other. So it is absolutely fine. It is, if you have not understood how we have done it. Sorting part, guys, I completed in the last part. So this I'm anyway going to revise. So I'll ask you again. Does anyone want me to revise anything other than sorting? Sorting, I am revising. Okay, so nobody's asking me, then I'll not waste your time in doing that. Anyway, whenever we start with the longer example today, we will start with the fresh data set and everything. So we'll not continue with the earlier examples anyway. So now let us check your sorting related requirement. Sorting related revision. So when we talk about sorting in Java, can anyone tell me which are the two ways of sorting in Java? There are two approaches to sorting. Yes, please. Yes. So, but what are they called, Srinivas? Yes, comparable comparator is the name of the interfaces, but what are they called, guys? You don't remember that? Okay. So here, no. I'm talking about the names of the approaches. So it is called as natural ordering. Or this other one is called as custom ordering. So now tell me, this natural ordering is also called as what? Internal ordering or external ordering? I or E? It is an internal, also called as implicit ordering. Internal or also called as implicit. Correct? So tell me, here, when you talk about natural ordering, where will be the sorting criteria? Will it be the part of user-defined type or will it be external? The sorting criteria, will it be kept internal to your UDT or will it be kept external? Answer is inside the user defined type. So here, that is why it is called as internal ordering, right? So sorting criteria is internal, or I can say within user defined type, which is nothing but we have not yet shifted to set. When I take you to sets, I'll talk about sets. So currently just type of list. So whatever is the generic type of the list, example, I think we had solved that employee example. You can take account example, you can take customer example, vehicle, or whatever earlier examples we had done. So that is your type of the list. Sorting criteria is within the user defined type, and in custom ordering, it is external, or also called as explicit ordering. And anyone wants to tell me, is it going to be embedded within the user defined type, or will you declare it in a separate class? Internal or separate? It is outside, of course. So sorting criteria is kept in a separate class. So, or is there another approach? Is there any shortcut? See, I'm going to take all the approaches as a quick revision, but is there any approach? Is there any way to reduce a creation of a separate class? I don't think we had done that. Anonymous inner class. Yes, nested class is the correct answer. Have you done anonymous inner classes? Because I don't think I had explained that. I did not get time, I think, on the last this. You have not done it? Okay, fine. So today we will start with that anonymous inner class. No worries. So here sorting criteria is kept in a separate class. So that example I'll explain first, and then we will write it using anonymous inner class. Or after collection, generally I take lambda expressions, which you already know from your JavaScript now. Everyone remembers JavaScript arrow functions, right? So similarly, I'll show you the lambda expression from Java also. So either of it you can use. So today, of course, I'm not taking lambda expression. We'll take it maybe on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. So sorting criteria is kept in a separate class, or it can be kept, slashes means or it can be kept in an anonymous error class, or the most concise form of writing would be lambda expression, anonymous function. Okay, so now let us solve some things in a quick manner so that you feel connected. So I'll give you the requirement and you give me the answer. So I want to sort the elements in the list. Okay, so example, I'll just say. So as an example, let's say I have got a list of customers, okay, who have logged in or who have registered to my website, let's say. So I've got a customer analyst. So now I'm asking questions. I expect the responses. So I want you to sort the customer details. Customer has the email. Email is the primary key in an ascending manner using the natural ordering. I'll repeat the question. So I want the steps for, I want to sort the customer details as per the email using natural ordering. You understood the question? Is the question clear to everyone? Purposefully, I'm taking a different scenario to give you a fresh start. Is the requirement clear? Is the question clear, guys? Okay, so now anyone wants to tell me what will be the first step here? So imagine that, yes, implement the comparable. Absolutely correct. So the first step is, now I'll not waste time in writing in English. I will directly write it in Java. So it will be public class customer. That's your core class. That's your user defined class. And it should implement which interface? Comparable. So comparable is the heart of natural ordering. Is comparable generic or non-generic? It is a generic interface. So anyone wants to tell me what should be the type of the comparable? Any type or a specific type? Answer is of course specific type. What it should be? Customer. Guys, you are comparing two customers. So here this has to be customer. Okay, so here this is your first step. So you have to create a class which implement user defined type must implement the customer. But now you'll start getting compiler errors. So I'll not write it in the steps like this. So anyone wants to tell me which is the method I'll have to implement? Everyone knows the answer, compare to. So let's write that. You remember at override annotation, I'm sure, which is not compulsory but recommended, right? So at override, to tell the compiler whatever is following is the overriding method, public int, implementing or overriding, it is the same annotation, public int, compare to. And what will be the argument here? Object or customer, O or C? Object is a wrong answer. That is the difference between a generic and a non-generic. The moment you are implementing, your customer class is implementing comparable of customer, all occurrences of T, comparable of type T, will be replaced by customer. So this is the advantage. You remember we talked about advantages of generics. No explicit downcasting is required, no typecasting is required, because compiler we are giving the information. So the answer will be here customer, and let's say customer C. So this is your class definition. This is your method definition. Is everyone 100% clear so far? No confusion, no this thing? Okay, great. Now tell me, you know the answer of this question. Your method has to return -1 if this means the invoker is less than the argument sorting criteria wise, or it has to return 0 or +1. So tell me, what is the sorting criteria of a customer? The sorting criteria or sorting key, I can say, is, what is the key I have asked you? As the email. Okay, sorting key is email. So tell me, what is the data type of email typically? A string. So now, anyone wants to tell me, how do I do this? How will I return either -1 or 1 or 0? If this dot email is coming dictionary order wise, lexicographical ordering wise, less than your other one, or 0 if both of them are equal, or +1 or plus number if this dot email comes later. Exactly, Rajnikant is right. Equals, guys, will only tell you true or false. So that is why I requested you to log in with the computer. I hope everyone has logged in with your computers. Please open the Java docs. You know, we search everything through Java docs. Open API docs. And here, if you cannot follow it, you can do it from here. Look for string and tell me, has string class already implemented comparable? It's a yes or no. Answer is yes. So, which is the method which it has implemented compare to? Just a second. Okay, so here, now you will see that don't look at compare to. In our case, we are happy with compare to. We want case sensitivity. And it tells you compares the two strings lexicographically. So let me ask you, if the two email IDs are abc@gmail.com and xyz@gmail.com. So if I say abc dot compare to xyz, what will it return? Positive number, negative number, or 0 value. abc dot compare to xyz. Answer is, don't say -1 because it's the difference, negative number you say. Why? Because ABC is coming before XYZ or not? Of course, it is coming before. A comes before X, right? So it is going to return a negative number. It has given all the details in proper this. It is just going to compare the character code, your Unicode values, and it has returned you 0 plus positive or negative. So once you know this, anyone wants to tell me, this becomes so easy. So anyone, I'll simply say return. Yes, please. What should I return? Yes, I got the answer from Yash already. So here I have, whether you use this keyword explicitly or you, you don't use it, it is fine. So for explicit understanding, I'm saying this dot email. That is invoker customer's email dot compare to. And what do you want to compare it with? What will be the argument, guys? Whose email ID you want to compare? Yes. So now see that here Unlike equals, you don't have to do the downcasting because it is already of the type customer. So you simply say c.email. Okay. So this finishes 1.1 and 1.2. So what was the 1.1 step? What was the first step? Create a class implementing comparable. What was the second step? Create a class which is, implement the method compare to, and it should return you -1, +1 or 0. I mean, any negative number, positive number or 0. So tell me, are these first two steps clear to everyone? No confusion so far? Okay. And now the beauty. Here, we are not doing your ADS course where you had to write the sorting algorithm. So JVM collection framework is what? Ready-made implementation of data structure algorithms. So anyone wants to tell me, which is the class which has already given you this sorting algorithm? Give me the name of the class. Collections is the name of the class. Very right. So here you just have to call collections.sort. And what you have sort is the overloaded method. Here you just have to supply the customer list. So see, your job is so easy. Compare it to your advanced data structure course where you had to write the optimized your sorting algorithm. Here nothing is required. So Java developer, Java programmer just has to supply the sorting criteria. But who is going to supply the ready-made implementation of algorithm? JVM. Or you can say this collections class, or you can say collection framework. Are we all good? So now I have a next question. So tell me, when you say collections.sort, I'll ask you as an example. So here, suppose this customer list, okay? I'll just take it as an example so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Suppose this customer list, I'm just writing as an array this. Suppose it has got some references. C3. I'm just having some references. And so suppose, and rest of them are null because, initial capacity is 10. So I have got, let us say 5 customer references. When you say references, anyone wants to tell me where will be these customer objects created? Within the list or outside the list? Of course, heap, Abhijit. We know that. But will it be within the array list or outside? Of course, outside. All these memory pictures, we had drawn it earlier, so I'll not waste your time again. So C1 is pointing to the first customer object. C2 is pointing to the second and likewise. Okay. So now anyone wants to tell me, now the question is coming your way. When I call collections.sort customer list, what will be the internal code JVM will be calling? Anyone wants to answer? What will be the code you think this sort function will call internally? You understood my question? What will be the input? Which method it will call internally? Yes, yes, you are right. Compared to, but give me something like, yes, exactly. Kunal's answer I'll accept because he's given me the most closest answer. So now, depending on the sorting algorithm, whether it is an iterative merge sort or whatever, it will do. So I'm giving a simple version, C1 dot compare to C2. Okay. But don't count this, that this is the way, because the internal searching algorithm, we don't know. That is JVM's this. Suppose it calls C1 dot compared to C2. How do you know whether what we are saying is correct or not? Add a SOP here in compare to, and 100% it will be printed. So you as a programmer, will you ever call compare to method, or will your sorting algorithm will call it? P for programmer, S for sorting algorithm. The sorting algorithm will call it. Everyone with me? Great. So now tell me, suppose if there are 3 options. So I'll ask you, suppose it returns you a negative number, it returns you a positive 0 or this. So let me complete my question. If C1 dot compared to C1, C2 returns a negative number or 0, what will your JVM do? I'm giving you options. Will it swap C1 and C2 in place, or will it keep it as it is? Swapping or no swapping? Guys, you have written your sorting algorithm. So answer is no swapping. Guys, I said ascending. Are you understanding? So here, if C1 is already less than C2, email wise, does it have to swap the references or will it keep it as it is? Once again, no swapping. It will keep it as it is because it is already in that particular order. Okay, now next question. If it returns you 0, suppose both email IDs are same. Actually, it is not possible because we always validate duplicate email ID and all. But suppose I'm saying it is same. Again, it will do no swapping. This is what is called a stable sort. You must be knowing it. Exactly, stable sort as it is. But now tell me, if C1 dot compare to C2 returns you a positive number, 100% will swap because C1 is greater than C2. So it will do it will have to swap the references. And that is how it is going to sort all the elements in the list. But is it going to take the first two or is it going to divide it into this and do it in parts? That is all internal to the sorting algorithm. Are all the statements clear so far? Because I want you to realize it based on your ADS understanding. Okay, great. So this is the point I'm trying to make is you don't have to write anything. So I'll mention. So this implies no swap. This also implies no swap because it is a stable sort. And here, of course, this will definitely result into swapping of the references. So this is your simple implementation of natural ordering. Everyone with me? Which algorithm? Iterative. Kunal, open the Java docs. It tells you the implementation note. It uses iterative merge sort. Okay, so it's a what to say? It is a TIMS algorithm, TIMS sorting algorithm, where Java and Python both of them uses the same one. Okay, so that is the algorithm used internally. Now, so this is nicely happening with the natural ordering. So here there is another part, another another way of sorting. So people ask you a favorite question, popular question: what is the need of custom ordering, or why custom ordering? In short, or people can reference it saying, are there any limitations of natural ordering? Anyone wants to answer? You understood? We cannot achieve multiple sorting criteria. Absolutely correct. Yes, for the specific ordering. So the answer is, suppose I'll give you a situation scenario. Suppose option 1 is sort the customer list as per email. You have done it. Great. Happy. But option 2, imagine buttons or case options, whatever. Option 2 is sort the customers as per their customer plan chosen or as per the customer name. Is it possible using natural ordering or not possible? Possible or not possible through the natural ordering, guys? Multiple sorting criteria is not possible because there's only one method. Are you understanding it? There's only one implementation of compare to. How can you supply multiple options such as once by email, once by name, once by email and name? Not possible. Okay, so that is when that is one limitation. And other problem with the natural ordering is anytime you want to change the criteria, you have to touch your core class customer, which is also not recommended. So tell me, what sounds better to you? Keeping the sorting criteria tightly coupled with the customer class as in UDT sounds better, or keeping it separate sounds better? Keeping the sorting criteria separate sounds better. Separation always sounds better. You achieve the loose coupling. Tomorrow, anytime anyone wants to change the sorting criteria, you don't have to touch the customer class. And that is where we enter custom ordering revision. So first I'll show you using a separate class. And then since some of you are saying anonymous in a class, maybe they knew it from their past this, but I will start with anonymous in a class and lambda expression some other day, not today. So now I'm talking about another requirement. So read the requirement. Suppose you have a customer class, and in customer class, you have got a date of birth. What will be the data type of date of birth? Easy question.
Date.
I'm just checking whether, yeah, exactly. So java.util.date, soon to be replaced by modern Java API such as local date. But I have not yet done that. So date is a very fine answer. And suppose, so I want it as a date of birth and name. You have done your database. Database is also done, right? Guys? MySQL database, it's done. Very good, very good. So like how we have order by class, right? In the SQL, this you have the sorting order by date of birth and name. Same thing I'm showing you, but in Java. So first example is sort these details using custom ordering, and for that we will create a separate class. Okay, so this we will write. First, I will explain here on the whiteboard, such as Notepad, and then we will write it together as a example. So you will know what is happening. Anyway, so now I have already given you custom ordering. Anyone wants to tell me the step 1? What is the first step? You have to create a separate class, and which is the interface it has to implement? The name of the interface is comparator. Absolutely correct. So let's create a public class. So it is a customer comparator, customer DOB and name-based comparator, and implements which interface? Comparator. Is it a generic interface? 100% yes. So anyone wants to tell me what will be the generic type of that comparator? Will it be date? Will it be string, or will it be customer? Answer is customer. Why is saying customer? Ask yourself, which are the objects type which you want to compare is customer. So of course it will be customer. Okay, so step 1 done. Now I'm writing it here directly. The moment you do this, so 2.1, 2.2 together. Okay, so tell me, which is the method now you have to implement? Is it compare or is it compare to? Answer is compare. Compare to was comparables. Now comparator has compare method. So again you got, we will write this, but first let me explain it here and we'll write it in the code soon. At override public. So you'll have basically 2 revisions back to back. Compare. So here anyone wants to tell me how many arguments should I pass? 1 or 2? Answer is 2. Absolutely right. Guys, you should always, check what we were doing earlier. Here, 1 argument was sufficient because 1 was your invoker object customer. But here, are we sitting in a customer class? Answer is no, we are sitting in a separate class. So you cannot use this as a 1 customer. So as you said correctly, you have to pass 2 instances, customer 1 and customer 2. I mean, customer C2. And for your confirmation, you can always add a SOP in compare and all, and it will definitely get caught. Now focus on the understanding. So here I have got a compound criteria. Compound means multi-field criteria. Means what? What is it we are going to compare first? Date of birth or name? DOB or name? I've given the rule already, date of birth, very right. And if the 2 customers have the same date of birth, then how we are going to compare it by? Then name. Everyone gets me? So now let us start by, first let us compare by date of birth. So the same story. Open the Java docs, please, and search for date class. I hope this revision is helping you in reconnecting from where we left. I'm going to spend 2 hours in that so that, I want everyone to be comfortable and not feeling lost right on the first day. Okay. So guys, date class. Tell me, has date class already implemented comparable? Yes. Which is the method it must have implemented? See, keep it light, clear and simple. Natural ordering, comparable, compare to, over. Custom ordering, comparator and compare. So which is the method to look for here? Compare to. And here it has already returned 0, positive. Here it is +1, -1, 0. So you just have to call it. So anyone wants to tell me here? I'll write the left hand side int return or return value, I can say. And you give me the RHS, please. What is it you are going to compare? C1.dob compared to C2.dob. Only thing is small correction, Rajnikant. Here we go for tight encapsulation, right? So DOB, date of birth, will it be a private data member or a public one? Private or public? Private. So imagine that you have supplied getters and write it accordingly. Okay, but you are close, you are correct. C1 dot get date of birth dot compare to, sorry. And what is the argument? C2, sorry, look at this. Compare to C2 dot get DOB. Is everyone clear? I'm just writing it so that when we start writing it together in Eclipse, there will be zero confusion. That's my only objective. Okay, so preparing you this, and I'll send you the sequence so you can have a copy of it and you can check, you can compare. Now, so this one is done. Like, now tell me, if the return value is 0, should we check further or should we not check further? I mean, should we check by name or no checking required? Of course it is required. But if it is +1 or -1, is it required to be checked further? Answer is no. Everyone gets me? So check it now. So if return value is equal to 0, what does this imply? This means same DOB. Now, how do you want to compare? What is the sorting criteria now? Name. What will be the data type of name? String. Has string class already implemented comparable? Yes. So can I call compare to method directly? 100% yes. So here you can say, if the dates are same, then return it based upon your names comparison. Return. So first comparison. So C1 dot get name. This returns with the customer one's name. It is string dot compare to, and what that will be? C2 dot get name. So if the two customers are having the same date of birth, we are doing the sorting by the name. Okay. And otherwise, if the control comes down, means what? The dates are DOBs different. So then you can return that return value. So this is your quick example. I purposefully am writing without ID, so I don't get any control space auto completion. You understand it word by word. Is the compare method clear to 100% of you? Guys, you know me. You know me. I mean, we have met after a long time, but you know me in essentially. So even one of you says not clear, I'm ready to revise. I'm ready to explain. But don't keep the doubts to yourself, please. Now we are entering in an important discussion, important part, which is your project based, project needs and all that. So don't leave the doubts to yourself. Okay, so going ahead, this is how you override your compare. So 2.1 is done, created a class, overrode implemented the compare method. Now tell me, the last step is more than easy. This is where your collection framework becomes so powerful. Do I have to write a sorting algorithm? Absolutely not. Which is the class, which is the class which already has this collections? So I have a small question. Suppose I say collections.sort and customer list. Tell me, will it do the sorting as per the natural ordering criteria or custom ordering? NO or CO? Natural ordering. Everyone gets it? Because you have not supplied any instance of comparator. So this is the wrong one. So you have an overloaded method. Anyone wants to tell me what is the second argument, please? What will be the second argument? Yes, yes. So what is it? It is going to be the instance of the class which implements comparator. Exactly. Instance of the class. So how do you create the instance? Using new keyword. What is the name of the class we have created in the earlier step? This class. You can do it in 2 steps, by the way, guys, but I'm just reducing it and here. So I'll mention it here. You know this already. The first argument here is the list to be sorted. And the second argument is going to be here, the instance of the class that implements comparator. So as a short form, we call it as comparator instance. But don't be shocked. Comparator is an interface. Interfaces can never be instantiated. So anytime you hear the word comparator instance, what it means is the instance of the implementation class. So tell me, are we all good? Are we all clear? We're going to write it together in the next minute. So you just tell me whether you are clear or not. 100% clear? Great. So now the same question. When this line is executed, the sorting algorithm internally will call what? I'll take the data. So suppose I have got this here so that you can answer me perfectly. So suppose you got here this. So anyone wants to tell me now which method will be called? Compare method will be called. Absolutely correct. But here compare method will be called on whose instance? On this instance. Okay. So suppose I call this instance as comp for comparator, comp dot compare, and which will be the 2 arguments it will pass. Let us say C1, C2. So in case it returns you 0 or -1, tell me, will it do the swapping or will it not do the swapping? Swap or no swap? Answer is no swap. See, sorting algorithm is the same. Earlier it was natural, now it is custom. So here answer is no swapping of the references. But if it is returning you any positive number, of course it will swap the references. And this is how it is going to swap it. Internal algorithm is iterative merge sort. Like I said, Tim's algorithm it uses. There are a lot of details given in the Java docs, and whole customer list will be automatically sorted by calling your sort method. So tell me openly, honestly, are all the statements clear? Because we are going to write code now. I mean, I have written the code, but I just want you also to write along with me. Okay, so guys, now I'm sending you first what for 1. I'll add that greater than 0, swap. If it is anything a positive number, that means the first customer, yes. Collections.sort, Kunal, here is the method. I'll show you from the Java docs. Kunal, please open collections. Okay, and that has got a sort method. Only thing is I'm not going to explain the internal sorting algorithm because that is all hidden or abstracted by Java. So Kunal, this is the method I'm using. So all you have to supply is list of customers, list of accounts, anything. And the second argument is comparator. And here it says the sort is guaranteed to be stable. And if anyone is more curious, this implementation internally is based on another method. So you can click on that if you want. I'm saying this is optional. So here there is an implementation note. So what it says is this implementation is a stable, adaptive, iterative merge sort that requires lesser than n log n comparisons. So it is not just a merge sort which has the time complexity of n log n, but here it is even lesser than that, provided it is partially ordered. All the implementation details are here. But in collection framework, guys, you are not expected to understand the internals because the sorting algorithm is given to you by JVM directly. Understood me, Kunal, or are you still not clear? Okay, so anytime you want to read more details about how it is using it, they have given you, and you can just look at Tim sort and you can understand the internals even further. So now coming back to the point, let us create a brand new project. And I'll just write a simple customer class. I'll purposefully using the fresh scenario. So I don't have to copy. We don't have to copy anything from earlier one. I'm just opening the same workspace. Please open the earlier workspace. Wherever we had stopped, day 13 we had stopped. We are continuing from there. So yeah, I'm waiting for you to open the Eclipse, STS and all that. And in the meantime, I'm sending you this on the chat. Is the 14 help. Just, and I'm sending you the sequence. So just download this, open it. I'm not promising that whole sequence I can cover today. It all depends on how fast, how slow we go. So have you got this sequence.txt? So whatever I have written will be there with you. Got it? Okay. So you'll know exactly. Everyone knows how to create a project and all that. Create a simple Java project, the 14.1. I hope you remember our way. You can call it as day 14.1 lab or day 14.1 class, anything other than day 14.1. Save, finish. And we don't create any module info. You don't require it. You tell me whenever you are done. So I'll go to the next step. Next step is we are going to create a customer class basically. You let me know. Done? Yeah, I'll wait for a couple of more of you. Done. Okay, great. So now let us create a customer class having, and if you don't want to, every time I write a class, I'll complete a particular class, I'll send it. So anyone who has not completed, done it in a parallel time, you can always copy. So first let me write some simple customer class, core. I'm generally give this name to indicate it as a core class. Name of the class is customer. And here, let's add the data members here. Name, email address. No validations. Today, I'm not wasting time on validations and all that. Let's get started first. Password. Maybe you want to keep the date of birth. Please select java.util for the date of birth. And let's say name, email, password, date of birth. Anything else I'm going to require? Some registration amount. Suppose user wants to register to your website, so registration amount. I'm not even adding any enums such as customer types, customer plans chosen. Idea is to only focus on the sorting part. And once you have done this, now rest of the code you generate, don't type. So generate the constructor using the fields and generate the toString here. I have sent day 14 help. No, only sequence.txt I have sent. Only one thing. Omkar. You got sequence.txt guys, right? I've just sent you one file, sequence.txt, not the entire help. You don't require entire help so far. Okay. So I'll be sending this customer class also shortly. So tell me, user is going to give you the date in what? In the string form. Is there any class which can do the parsing from string to date? Answer is yes. Which class, please? This is all a recap. I've not started with any new topics still. Yes, simple date format. So simple date format is the name of the class. So simple date format should be static or non-static. One single copy is sufficient or multiple copies you require? Static is sufficient. So add that. Make it public so you can access it from anywhere. Public static, simple date format. Tell me, which is the best way to initialize the static data members? Static initializer block. So add a static initializer block here. And here, SDF. And you can have any date pattern. So I'm just going for a simple pattern. Day. Please remember M. I'm sure you must be remembering M has to be uppercase, day, month, and year. Now you have done your HTML. HTML5 is done, right? So when I take you web Java, I mean advanced Java part basically, that time we will change the pattern to year, month, and day. So all in good time. So I've created simple date format. And here I'll be sending you this. So I don't want the date of birth here plus DOB. So how to print the formatted date? Everyone knows sdf.format and do the job properly. So I think we are done here as far as simple class is concerned. I'm sending you this customer.java so that those who are not completing in time can also continue to code. Because important thing is your sorting assignment, sorting work basically. So I'm sending you src com and core customer. Send you customer.java. If you have already completed on your own, you don't have to make a copy. You let me know whenever you are completed, whenever you are done. Very good, Sumit. Let's wait for others also. Okay, I'm saying there's no pressure. Typing speed, nobody's, you're measuring or nobody's judging you by that. If you have not completed, there's nothing which is complex about it. You can just you can just copy my customer.java and continue with it. Now, here, if I want to add, suppose like 5 customer details, some 4 or 5 customer details, what is it I'll have to do? I'll have to attach a scanner and then I'll have to take the details and we'll waste a lot of time. So I had told you long back, testing your entire business logic with sample data is always good. So let us hard code some sample data and keep it in the form of a list. Okay. So step 1, customer cloud class. Actually, step 2 is validation rules, custom exceptions. All those things today I'm not adding because the focus is on sorting. So let us create another package, utils. We will add a class there, collection utils, and we'll write a static method there so that user doesn't have to instantiate it to return some fixed list data. Okay, so src, click on src, C, package, give the name of the package as utils. It is a utility one. It's not java.util, it is our own utils. And the name of the class is, let's say, collection utils. Earlier, my spelling mistake. Earlier, we used to write validation utils, validation rules. So this is the class. And as usual, we are writing a comment first. Add a static method to return populated list of customers. All this exercise till the lunch break is to just reconnect with you and to give you the confidence that you can code along. The whole day, we are going to continue in the similar manner. They're not going to be a separate lab session. You just let me know whenever you have done this much. So that, I can continue. Very good. So now, always whenever you are writing a method, you should think about method declaration first. So start with public. Why I'm saying make it as a static method? Because the tester is going to use it, the driver class is going to use it, the client code is going to use it. So they don't have to create an instance unnecessarily. And anyone wants to tell me the return type? What should be the return type? Void or non-void? Return type of this method should be void or not void. If you read my comment, you will know the answer immediately. Of course, non-void. What it should be, guys? Not void is a correct answer. What should be the type? I've already given the answer there. A customer, single customer. Read it again. Populated list of customers. So I have shown you on the array list. So let us make it as array list. Okay, array list, and E replace it by customer. Okay, and you can say, you can give a proper method name, populate list. And since no scanner, nothing, this is going to be the hard coded details. So here, create the empty list. So you use the control space. I'm using the auto completion a lot. Customer, you can call it as customers, new array list. Since it is a classroom kind of example, you can start with a default constructor. Size 0, initial capacity 10, and then you can add. If you don't want to type all this, give me a minute. I can do it for you also. New customer. And now let's bring in the constructor. This will give you immediately, a lot of coding practice. So here, I'm just keeping it here so we know. So name. So let's say Rama. The email ID, her email address. I'm just populating the data for you. Cursor, mouse, okay, password. So there are no restrictions and all that. Then is the date. So here, I can't directly create the date because it has got a deprecator constructors. So can I access the simple date format from the customer class here? It's a yes or no question. Can I access that simple date format from the customer class? Answer is yes. How do you access the static member? Class name dot member name. So customer dot SDF. But if I'm too lazy to write customer dot SDF, I want to call it directly. Yes, absolutely correct. So I can use the import static. So here, add the next line, import static. Give the fully qualified name, com.app.core.customer. And which is the data member. You just say control space, it will give you SDF. So this is where you are importing the class, and this is where you are importing a static member. So I don't have to say customer.sdf. I can refer to SDF directly. So then you can say SDF.parse. And please recall the type is DDMMY, that is day, month, and year. So I can say something. Well, something. Month, let's say the month, year. And some registration amount she has paid for accessing the services. Now I'm just going to copy paste it couple of times and modify the data. At least give me some 4-5 samples so that for sorting and all. You remember the whole idea is for sorting. We can have different thing and return it to the caller. Return customers. You'll see a compiler error. So here it is saying SD. Oh, sorry, my mistake. You can, I'm sure you can manage that. So now the correct actual error is unhandled checked exception. So tell me, Yeah, comma was missing, Avinash. You're right. So tell me, do you want to handle it here using try catch or do you want to delegate it using throws? You want to do the delegation because we'll be having one single try catch in the tester. So simply add here throws parse exception. Oh, look at this. I got a parse exception from wrong place. When you say control space, check it carefully. Pick it up from java.text. So now you play with the data. And like I said, if you don't want to this thing yet, you can just wait for a minute. I will give you. Because this is the boring part, data entry. But at least it saves us, from taking it from user all the time. And here you change it. What do you say? Randomly you give that so that, we can see after that whether it is working correctly at all. Day, month, and year, right? Or if you want this, I can give you in a minute. Okay. And here, this also will keep it separate. Something. And I got the data. This is fine. This is this. Dates are mixed up and this are mixed up. Okay. So give me a minute. I'll send you this in case you don't want to type it. Just give me some mixed data so that, after sorting, you should be able to see the results correctly. I've sent you my collection utils.java. If you don't want to waste time, simply copy and let me know once you are done. Uh, Ankit is saying unable to receive code. Are you also not able to? Is everyone able to receive the code? Please answer that. You are. Ankit, there's some problem at your end, looks like. Some of you are saying not received. Some of you are saying yes. So I've sent the code. Has anyone received it? Okay, so people have received. Send it again. Guys, got it. So many of you are getting it. So that means that there's no problem at my end. So put it so that share it once again, this so people can get it. Send it out, guys. Yeah, thank you, Girish. Okay, so now let us focus on sorting part here. Somebody Rohit has sent this, but I don't know whether from here you sent the file. Don't send the code because sometimes that becomes difficult to copy. So now everyone focus. So here I'm not going to write a big example and confuse you. Let us do the testing of natural ordering using email-based criteria. So click on SRC, class, create a sorting. Just create, okay, call it as tester and test natural ordering and add the main method. So what we are going to do, I have already sent you my sequence. So first we are going to do the sorting of customers as per email. Everything I have explained in the first 1 hour. We are just going to try it here. So I'm writing in steps. Get list of populated customers from utils. So this is the first thing. So who has to call whose method? This tester has to call the collection utils method. Again, the shortcut is use import static. So import static, fully qualified class name, utils. You just hit control space, guys, collection utils. And here you got a method populate list. And just call that method populate list, which returns you the array list of customers. Ignore the compiler error. Here you say control 1. And here assign the statement to a new local variable. Pick up the third option. I'm just reducing your typing. Control 1. Click here and say control 1. And since it is an unhandled exception, everyone remembers throws. So here we had delegated. Now here we will handle. So here you can have, currently I'm not opening scanner. So simple try and catch all block will suffice. Say catch all. And in case of any errors, we just want to, since we are debugging it still, print stack reset. I'll wait here till you catch up. I've not yet written any sorting code. Control 1, Abhijit. Here you say control 1. It will give you the, what do you say, suggestions. Pick up the third one. Assign it to the local variable. And here I just change the variable. In variable name, you can keep anything. If you want customers, you can say customers. Any variable name. You know that. You let me know when you are here. Let us say, let us display the original list. Original. Which is unsorted. It is ordered but unsorted. You know that. So if I want to display this list, will I be able to use for each loop for that? Yes. So attach for each and display it. For each customers. See in customers, all I'm doing is SOP. We had done it with earlier one was what? Employee, vehicles. So I chose the fresh scenario as a fresh start. And just run it once. I'll share you with this also. So you can see that this is your ordered output. But is it what? Sorted as per the date and the name? Answer is no. So you can check all of that. I'll send you this code also. I'm just trying to, make everyone, keep everyone at the same page. I've sent you. We have not yet written any sorting code. You know that. I've sent you the tester, test natural ordering.java, which I just got the original list. Let me know whenever you reach this much so I can give the further instructions. Okay, so I got a couple of dones at least. Now, we want to use the natural ordering. Okay, first example is natural ordering. as per the email. So can you please open the output and tell me, is it already sorted as per the email? Is this data already sorted as per email? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? No is a correct answer. So can you tell me whose email ID should, I mean, if I want a sorted output as per the email, whose should come first? Simple one I'm asking you. I hope everyone knows Amit should come first. Yeah. And then maybe Kiran, yes. Then PQRS R, that is Rama, then Rekha, and then Suraj. Lexicographical dictionary order. 100% clear? So now let us use let's do it in a reverse engineering manner. So natural ordering, which is the class we have, which has the sorting algorithm, collections. So simply say collections and dot sort and list to be sorted. So which is the list we want to sort is customers. And you'll definitely get a compiler error. Anyone wants to tell me why there is a compiler error. What is it we have not yet done? Or you can simply tell me why there is compiler error. Yeah, so Saurabh, I want a better answer than that. No, not better answer. I am not accepting compared to answer. Yeah, I know compared to is not defined. I want a better answer. Here, yes. So here, if you just take the cursor, here it is saying that this method is not applicable to ArrayList of customer. What is the heart of natural ordering? Comparable. So please open your customer class and tell me, has your customer class implemented comparable interface yet? No. And that is why there is a compiler error. So now I have spent almost like 1 hour, whatever I mean. So now you can do it on your own. Everything is in their sequence. Let us just do it together. So step 1, customer class implements comparable. And this will be of the type customer. So step 1 over. See, we started writing directly step 3 here, but now since there is a problem, see now the error is gone. Of course, compiler is here. Which is the method I'll have to implement? Compare or compare to? It is compare to. Absolutely correct. So come down here. Now, guys, we have the experience of first half or more than half of core Java. So I'll say use the shortcuts. Click on source, override implement methods. Got here? And because there's no point in wasting time like this. And all you have to do is just add a SOP here. So you'll know whether it is getting called by JVM at all. You can say SOP in compare to. And we already know which is the sorting criteria, email ID. So whether you say this dot email or simply email, both are the same. For your understanding, we keep saying this dot email. Email is a string. String is comparable. So use compare to another customer's email. No getters are required here because this criteria or this method is within the customer class. Finish it. See, once you understand it, implementation becomes really easy. Not that difficult. Every now and then, you keep telling me whenever you are done. So, I may not be able to wait for each and every one of you, but at least some of you I'll definitely wait. Keep responding, keep talking to me. So I hope recall the steps. The step is your customer class has implemented comparable and you have simply used the string classes comparison function. So this is going to return you negative number if this dot email is less than another customer's email, no swapping. If both the emails are same, I have not given that this sample, but still in case, then it will return 0, no swapping. But if this customer email is, greater than means coming after Unicode value wise, dictionary order wise, then it will swap. So now go to your test natural ordering.java. You can see that all the errors, compiler errors should have gone. and just copy paste these 3 lines. And here you can give the title as sorted list of customers as per email. And run this again and tell me, are you getting the correct output? Is your JVM sorting algorithm, is it calling the compare to method? It has to. So how many times it is calling? It is all depending upon what type of data you have, whether it is sorted originally at all, which algorithm it is using. So those internals are taken care by the JVM, but you should just focus on the data. Amit, Kiran, Rama, Rekha, and Suraj. You can add more details and you can confirm. Tell me, is it working fine, guys? As per the email ID in the ascending order. Have you understood? Has everyone? We had explained it, but towards the last days, there was a lot of, rush and all. So I just wanted to take it slow. Some of you may not have completed yet, but at least understanding wise, yeah, I already said, Shubham, you did not hear me. I said this is because the type of the data, add some more data samples and it will reduce or it will increase. That is as per the internal sorting algorithm, Shubham. That TIM sort. Okay. So now I'll send you this code in case somebody did not complete it. What I'll do is, okay, I'll ask you a question and then make a zip of the project and send you because it becomes easier then. Here, are we seeing the details output in a ascending manner or a descending manner of email ID? A or D? Ascending. So what if, just as a question I'm asking, my user, my manager doesn't want to look at it in the ascending manner. I want descending. For example, Suraj is detail, then Rekha, Rama, Kiran, and Amit. Anyone wants to tell me how to change it from ascending to descending? I told you what output I want. I don't want an ascending order. I want a descending order. Natural ordering only, but descending order. How? Yes, exactly. So Swapnil is right. So simply swap the criteria. Okay. So go to your customer. This is not what we do in natural ordering, but just as a question as I this. So you can comment this and here simply swap. So here, what you'll pass it as o.email compared to, you can say simply email, or if you want to keep it as this.email. Okay, simply change the swap the criteria. So o.email, if it is less than or equal 0, then it won't swap. If it is bigger, then it will swap. And that is what we want. So run the code again and check. Are you getting a descending order? I'll keep the code in front of you. What all I did was, was swap the swap the invoker objects. I'll keep both. I'll keep the output also and the code also. Check it out and let me know whenever you complete. Done. Has everyone understood it? If not completed? Yes. What I'll do, Abhijit, is I'll make a. I did not do anything in the tester, to be honest. Did not change a word in that. Only the criteria internally were changed. What I'm doing here is I'll make a zip of this file project so that if you missed something, any one of you, you can get it. I'm sending you the day 14.1 zip, whatever we have done so far. Okay, sent you day 14.1. Ankit, we always do that. Have you forgotten? We do that every day. Check your earlier Google Drive and you'll know every code, each and everything is uploaded already. Day-wise that too. So don't worry, this will also be uploaded. Yes, you can do that, Saurabh. Answer is right, but it is a more elegant solution than that, swapping the invoker objects. Okay, so I hope I have waited enough. At one time, you cannot do that. That is where you have the custom ordering coming up. You can either do at one point, either do ascending or descending, because you can't supply both the things. There's only one method, right? So now this was just shown for explaining the point. Okay. So now you can keep your ascending order is a natural order. So keep that. And now let us solve the next requirement using custom ordering. So I've shared with you the sequence. The next requirement is we want to sort the customer details as per the date of birth also and the name also. Is the requirement clear? The second requirement we are solving. Is it clear? Okay. So here I already said custom ordering and everything. Now you have the sequence and everything. So I don't want to waste too much time. So let us create a new separate class and then I'll show you anonymous inner class. Okay. So here D14.1 SRC, you can create a class. Let's have a different package, custom ordering, or I'll say comparators, because we are storing the comparator. And here suggestion is don't call it as my comparator or ABC because you will not remember it after 2 days. So what is it we are comparing? Customer details. How? Using date of birth as well as name. So DOB and name based comparator. Okay, so give the sensible name. People always judge you by the name of the data members, name of the classes, name of the methods you write. So now tell me, which is the interface you are going to implement? Comparable, L, comparator, R. Comparator, of course. So here, implements. Now you can start using shortcuts and all. Everything, we had written it in the notepad. Comparator. And this comparator is also a generic. Again, I want to compare two customers. So make it customer based. Step 1, done. Create a separate class which implements comparator. It's a generic interface, so don't keep it as raw. Raw means without any arguments. You add these angle brackets and the arguments properly. Which is the method we have to implement now? Is it compare or is it compare to? It is compare. So again, I'm telling you, don't waste your time. Source, override / implement methods, and the first method it has already selected. Okay, that. Add a SOP. It's the same sorting algorithm it uses, but using the custom criteria in compare. And now, first we are going to compare using date of births. So I'm saying, I don't know whether they are same or not. So sum this, I call it as return value. And here, now tell me, this date of birth, this data member, will it be accessible outside this class? No. So what is it we'll have to supply? Getter or a setter? Of course, you'll have to supply a getter. So let us write the getter. And once you have, because I told you today, I'm just reconnecting with all of you. So later, once you have the confidence, you can generate it. So here I'm not generating. We are writing getter for date of birth. And later we will generate the getter for name directly. So any getter setters are typically public. Getter is going to return the date of birth whose type is date. And the norm is, the practice is add a prefix of a get and then use the property name DOB with camel casing. Get DOB. No arguments. Simply return. You can say this dot DOB, or you can simply say, okay, I'll stick to the standards. This dot DOB. Everyone good so far? Done. Can I continue? Okay. Now generate the getter for the name, because it's too much to type. Waste too much of your programmer's time. So you can see source, generate getters and setters. You click on name and there's a get name here, because we are going to compare by date and the name both. Save it. Now let us complete this. So here O1 dot. First we are doing that date of birth wise. Date is a comparable class. So it has already given you compare to. Whose date you want to compare to is the other customer's date. So this is your date-based comparison done. So now you check if two customers are having the same date. So if return val is equal to 0, what does it imply? Same DOB. Okay. Then you return it. Then you compare it as per the name. But name is also what? String. String has already given you the natural ordering criteria. So O1 dot get name, which is string, dot compare to another customer's name. Okay. And otherwise, this, if the control comes here, that means the date of births are different. So simply return the value here. Finish it. So we have created a class and implemented a compound criteria, date of birth and the name-based criteria. Tell me whenever you're complete, whenever you've completed it. Okay, so those who have not done it, of course, I'm going to share these files. Let me share it right away so that nobody should lag behind and, feel confused. SRC, comparators, and this one. Okay, so I sent you this. Now you just have to call it. So now, I hope you have completed enough time. I've given you enough time. So do one thing. I don't want you to write everything from scratch, wasting your time. So simply copy natural ordering to custom ordering. So click on test natural ordering and say Control C. Click on tester and say Control V. Paste it and call it as test custom ordering. One, because we are going to do it in other manners also. And open that. All I've done is copying so far. Nothing changed. And here, this part is the same. I'm not making that is why I asked you to copy it. And here, say custom ordering. Copying, you want me to repeat, Kunal? Here. Click on test natural ordering. Say Control C. If you have a Mac, Command C. And then click on tester, because in the same package I want to do that. Say Control V and give the different name as test custom ordering. Got it? So now tell me, if I use a single argument sort method, is it going to give me that date and name based sorting, or is it going to give me that email based sorting? Email based. Because if you don't supply any comparator, or even if you give the second argument as null, you can try all these things. Don't trust a letter of what I'm saying. Here, if you don't supply any comparator, or if you supply the second argument as null, what will it use? Natural ordering criteria or custom ordering? N or C? Answer is natural ordering. So here, I don't want it. So what is the second argument? Instance of the implementation class. So how do you create an instance? New. What is the name of the class? You can say customer and say control space. Guys, I can finish it faster because I'm using auto completion throughout. And here, now tell me, is it going to use still a natural ordering compare to method, or is it going to use the compare method? Now, compare, because you have supplied the instance of the comparators implementation class. So you can change the title here, date of birth and name. And you can see you please recall how much time it must have taken you to write your own sorting algorithm versus the steps which your collection framework gives you in a ready-made manner. That is why collection framework is so impressive. And please run it and check, is the data sorted correctly? So first you have to check here whether it is calling your custom ordering compare method, and check. So here, this I've given the dates different. We'll fix that fix that means we will give the same name or same also. So currently it is what? Tell me, is it date based or date and name based? Currently what? It is date based because the dates are different. So I'm just checking 1/5, 12/10, 12/5, 22. Yeah, looks sorted to me. Is it working correctly in your case, guys? We're going to make a change. Don't worry. Are you all getting the correct output? Now let us add some customers having the same date of birth, and let's see whether it is doing the name based also. So open collection utils. That is why, guys, I always insist, write some sample data which you can fix it so fast. So let me give this 1592 couple of times. Okay, so make 2-3 customers having the same date of birth. So now, what will be the output? What is the expected? Don't run it. First, you guess the output, and then we will run it. So what is it going to be? 92 is the first one. Yeah. So whose details will be printed first? Anyone wants to tell me? Kiran's detail. Absolutely correct. Then whose details, please? Kiran is fine. Kiran is correct. Then Rekha and then Suraj. And then I think the next one, Amit's details, because he's born later. Okay. So now please run it. I hope what I asked you to do was clear enough. And then you can check whether Kiran's detail correct, Rekha, yes, Suraj, all three are correct. And then it is going by the date. Yeah. So you don't have to make the same changes. You play with the data. That is what it is very interesting. And check as long as you have written the sorting criteria correctly, it should work properly. Is it working fine, guys? So I'll make another zip for you and send it in case anyone requires. If you've already done it on your own, ignore what I'm sending you, please. But in case you did not complete it, something in between, you can refer to this. Okay. So this was what we had already done in the first half of your core Java or first sessions in core Java. Has everyone completed? Majority at least has completed. Can I go ahead? Prashant is saying, couple of you at least should see. I'll wait for a minute. Don't worry. With understanding. And those who could not complete because of whatever reason, please compare it to that day 14.1 zip and you will be good. So this was what you are, this is what you already knew. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to solve, you can have the same or different as a requirement is not an issue. We are going to use the custom ordering. But do we always have to create a separate class or can you use the nested class approach? Answer is, we can use the nested class approach, which is what I'm explaining. Okay, so I'll just check our help files because we had talked about it earlier, but I could not complete all the varieties. Just a second. Anyone remembers on which day nested classes were done? I'll check, don't worry. Okay, nested classes, I'm just opening something. So what I had covered was the first one, non-static nested class. And as a use case, the inner class it was called. And as a use case, I'd also shown you the example of a composition, which you can build it very easily using it. So there are two major categories. One is the non-static nested class. Other one is the static nested class. So static nested classes are used rarely. So I had not taken that. But now there are two sub-varieties, two subcategories of the non-static nested class, which is called as an inner class. One is the method local inner class, which you can define within a particular method, and only that method can use it. And the one which I'm going to show you today is the anonymous inner class. So what is the meaning of anonymous? It is nameless. So are you going to give the name to this inner class as a programmer? Answer is no. Who is going to generate the name? Answer is Java compiler. So Java compiler is going to generate the name for our class. Everything will be clear in next 5 minutes. And the beauty of it is, now I don't have to create a separate class which implements comparator. I can embed, I can insert entire inner class definition in a single Java statement. So this is what we are going to use. So first I will explain the syntax and then we'll write the code together. So let me open the sequence. So this is what we are solving. So what we are solving is the same requirement. Output will be the same. So read this. Sort customer details as per the, okay, here I've said descending, forget descending also. If you want descending, anytime you can do that. Here I had said descending, no. And using the anonymous inner class. So start responding. When I say custom ordering, which was the first step we were doing? Create a separate class which implements comparator. So tell me, is that creation of a separate class required or no longer required? Required or not? Answer is not required. So we will start in a reverse engineered manner. So here, see this. First, I'm explaining. So don't write anything. Give me full of yours, complete attention. So here, I'm going to start in this manner. Okay. So just observe what I'm doing. So what we are going to do is, we'll create another copy. So don't worry about that. First, focus on understanding. So I'm going to use collections classes sort function. Here, first I'm supplying the list of customers, and here, earlier we used to write instance of the class. See this, instance of the class which implements comparator. So this is where we are going to pass anonymous inner class instance. So don't do anything parallelly. I will take, I'll give you the practice in Eclipse. So here, now see what I'm doing. So some things I'm going to add here. This dots will be, of course, separated. This is your closing bracket and this is your closing of your Java statement. So what is it we are going to add here in place of dots? Entire anonymous inner class definition. And this anonymous inner class definition is going to be added in a single Java statement. So now understand the syntax. So I'm removing these dots. I'm writing it with this. Don't do anything. Just sit back and understand. So I want the instantiation. So the keyword for instantiation is new. Okay. Have I written, are we going to use any separate class? No. So now here comes the name of the interface which you want to implement. So which interface we want to implement? Tell me. Is it comparator or is it comparable? R or L? It is comparator. So see the syntax. New comparator. Now, comparator is a generic interface. So angle brackets, customer. And here, this is where I'm calling the constructor. So first, let me create a space because entire inner class definition I'm going to embed. So here, these are the class opening, inner class closing brackets. So I know the syntax looks a little weird, so I'm explaining it in a careful manner. So here I'm saying, I'm giving you the meaning. So here, what is the meaning of this? I'll give you the updated sequence. This implies instance of the anonymous inner class that implements comparator. So when you see new comparator, are you creating the instance of the comparator interface? Never. Interfaces cannot be instantiated. So what it means is, you are asking the compiler to create a class which is going to implement comparator. So what will be the name? Who will be supplying the name of the class? P for programmer, C for compiler. It is compiler generated. And in a minute, you'll see what will be the syntax, what will be the name, which is the symbol which couples outer class to the inner class. Anyone remembers? Dollar, very right. So now it will be, earlier it used to be outer dollar inner, but that inner class has no name. So it will be outer class name $1 for the first anonymous inner class. If you write the next anonymous inner class, it will be outer $2 and likewise. Okay, so you will see all of that in a minute. So I'll repeat the statement again. This means you are supplying instance of the class, instance of the anonymous inner class, which implements comparator. So now rest of the things are the same. So tell me, okay, this is where anonymous inner class begins. And this is where anonymous inner class ends. So that, you don't get confused in the syntax. Now tell me, if your class, let it be anonymous inner class or let it be simple, separate class, which is the method you will have to implement? The moment you say implements comparator, which is the method to be implemented? Compare. So of course, I'm not going to waste your time. It is too much of wasting. So this part is the same. So all I'm taking in is the same thing. So that is your compare function, which you are implemented. We've just implemented it recently, so I don't want to waste time. So now tell me, how many lines you have exhausted? A single line. And entire inner class definition is embedded in that single Java statement. So this avoids the need of creating a separate class. So this is what we are going to do in the next 5 minutes. Understood the syntax here? The anonymous.
What is the meaning of that rounded bracket? Compare customer tag.
This one. Anyone wants to answer this question? What is the meaning of these round brackets? Anyone? A constructor, a default constructor is getting called. See this one.
Okay.
I did not get your name. See, this was the round brackets for calling the separate classes constructor. These are the pair of round brackets. to call the anonymous inner
Default.
classes the constructor. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any more questions like this? Okay, so let's try it out and let's see whether it is working at all. So come to the code. You can say Control Shift W, close everything. And here, copy test custom ordering 1, Control C, Control V. Click on tester, Control V, and say ordering 2. I'll wait here till you have got the second copy done. We'll make the changes together. Do let me know whenever you're done this. Just copy your test custom ordering 1 to 2 and we will start making the changes together. Done? Okay. So now I'll ask you line by line or step by step. I'll slightly change the requirement, sort the list of customers as per the name, because otherwise, or okay, first let us write the DOB and name. No problem. See, so tell me this part, change or no change. I want to replace the separate class by the anonymous inner class. No change is a very right answer. Now tell me this part, change or no change. The highlighted part, guys, no change. But this second argument, change or no change, here there is going to be change. Everyone with me? Remove it. Done so far? Rest all is the same. So instead of creating a separate class and passing the instance, we are going to simply inline, embed entire anonymous inner class definition inside. Reach this part? Okay, so now start typing. New, don't use control space and all that. At least once you should type it on your own. I'll tell you something very frankly, guys. After I explain lambda expression, all this is not going to be required. But till lambda expressions are explained in Java, you'll require it. Okay, so you can simply say new comparator. And here, when you say new comparator, comparator is a generic interface. Give it as customer. First, you'll have to import this. So you can have import java.util.comparator. Okay, you can say star also, doesn't matter. New comparator. Now the round brackets for the, what is it called? Constructor, and the class opening here and class closing here. Of course, there is going to be compiler error. So don't worry, we will remove everything in time. I'm going step by step. Do only this much. So that closing bracket, opening bracket, nobody feels confused. New comparator of the type customer. This is calling the default constructor. This is your anonymous inner class opening. This is your anonymous class, inner class closing. Closing of the statement, ending semicolon. Reached here? Okay. Now, which is the method you have to implement? Everyone knows the answer. So now, don't waste your time. I'm going to give you another requirement soon. So currently, just open that separate class and copy this method. First, focus on the syntax and then we'll change the requirement. Don't worry. And simply paste it inside. Control V. And you can say Control Shift F for formatting. And here you can change this in anonymous inners compare. So that you'll know whether it is getting caught. And I will again, I'm waiting for you to complete this. I'm giving the meaning of this instance of the anonymous inner class, which implements. By the way, you can create anonymous inner class which extends from superclass also. So whether it is extends from superclass or implements this, the keyword is new. And this is here the name of the interface. When you are extending it from the superclass, it will be replaced by the name of the superclass. So you let me know when you have typed, when you are done. The next example, I'm going to give you a different criteria, but currently just stick to this. Okay. Now, please go to your folder structure, your workspace, I mean. Go to day 14.1 lab or whatever, I don't know the folder name you have given. Open the bin folder, tester, and tell me, are you seeing the anonymous inner class compiled? Are you seeing outer $1? Outer name was test custom ordering to $1 class. Is everyone observing it? I hope you got that. So who had generated this name? Not us. We just wrote the class. Compiler gave the name as outer $1. And the name of the outer class was something like whatever, test custom ordering to. So all of it should make sense. Okay. And now you run it and definitely you expect to see the very same output. See, the approach has changed, but the criteria is the same. So you should see the same output as earlier. First, date-wise sorting. So all these customers having the same date, and then based on, then the name based, Kiran, Rekha, Suraj, and then Amit and Rama. Are we getting the same output? But of course, as you can see, it is no longer required. You don't require to create a separate class. We have embedded the entire inner class definition. I'm sending you this code. In case you are having some compiler errors or whatever, you can compile it. I've sent you test custom ordering 2.java in case you need it. You let me know whenever your testing is over. I'll keep the code and the output in front of you. I'm waiting for more of you to complete. Got the expected output? You should get the same output as earlier. Got the same output? Very good. I've sent you the code also. So now do this before we enter the linked list. So solve the next one. 4 maybe. Another tester. I'll give you the name, test custom ordering 3. Okay. And display custom details sorted as per registration amount. But you are supposed to use, must use custom ordering plus anonymous inner class. So tell me, is the question clear? Everyone, not just 3, 4, 5 of you. There are 200 plus people logged in. Is the question clear to everyone? So I would suggest this time, don't copy paste from your earlier code. Copy that part, that is get the populate list and solve it. So let's do it together. Let's discuss it verbally. So I'm not saying copy from any earlier one. So we'll start in a minute. Test custom ordering 3. We will call the utils classes that populate list. So we'll get an original list. And now the moment I say custom ordering, collections.sort. First argument will be customer list and second argument will be another anonymous inner class instance. And there we will override or rather implement compare method, and comparison criteria is going to be registration amount. Is everyone ready to start it? Can we start it together? Okay, so let's open. This time, no copy pasting from earlier code. You can say Control-Shift-W. I just want to give you more and more practice. That's it. Okay, so click on tester. See, test custom ordering 3. And first is get the populated list. Okay, original list we'll get. Utils, collection utils and all that. This part stays the same. Populate list. Wrap it in a try and catch all manner. Okay. And here assign it control1. Assign the statement to new local variable. And print the original list. This part is 100% same. Okay, finish it this much. You can say Control-Shift-F. This part is, I did not copy paste, but you can, if you want, you can always copy paste. You let me know whenever you have finished this much so that we can continue together. Have you completed, guys? I'm waiting for your this. Are you solving the question also? This much is done. Very good. Now, everyone knows custom ordering using anonymous inner class is our aim. So you know the starting point. Now I'm going to show you the shortcuts. That's why I wanted you to do it with me. Collections.sort. Use the second overloaded version. The first one is list to be sorted. And now pause here. So let's make a space here. I mean, here. Now I'll show you the IDE ka shortcut. So here, start with new and simply say comparator, com and control spacer. And tell me what is the option it is giving you. Simply say new and com and control space. What is the first option it is giving you? What is the suggestion it is giving you? It is giving you anonymous inner type. It has to. Are you understanding this? So once I just wanted you to do this whole exercise once by yourself. Now we can use the IDE shortcuts, anonymous inner type. Okay. So this is what we want to use. So comparator. Now start making the changes. There is no semicolon required here. So get rid of it. T will be replaced by what? What is it you are comparing? Still customers. So you can say customer, control space it. And which is the method you want to override? Override is a wrong, but which is the method you want to implement? Same question I keep asking you so that everyone understands. Again, don't type it out. Go to this source and simply say override implement method. It will tell you compare customer, comma, customer. Got it? Say okay. So 90% of the code is generated by ID. Only the comparison part, that is what you have to supply. So you can supply some SOP. So I'll say compare, I'll say anonymous inner class, compare based on registration amount. So you'll know that your collections.sort function is actually going to call it. Now anyone wants to tell me, how will I do registration amount based sorting? In short, I'll tell you what output I want. I'll tell you from that. So you'll know it, understand it immediately. So the first one, now it is going to be ascending order for registration amount. So 500 seems to be the least. So Rama, then 550, that is Amit. Then your, I think 590, that is your Suraj. Then Kiran, and then Rekha. Just give me a minute. Think about the answer. I'll be back. I'm so sorry. Okay, so has everyone understood the expected output? And I hope you are writing this. So how will I get this? Anyone wants to answer? You know, if the first customer's registration amount is less than, write return -1, -1. If they're same, 0, otherwise +1. So anyone wants to tell me how? Equals method. Yogesh, again, this is comparison. This is not equality testing. And this is a primitive type. So how? What is it? Okay, let me ask you exactly. So here, only thing is you forgot, Srinivas, is the getters you'll require. So here you are going to compare the registration amount of O1 with that of O2. So go to your customer class and check. Registration amount is what? Private. So first supply a getter. I mean generate a getter. Source, generate getters and setters, and generate a getter. Okay. So done. This is done. Okay, save it. Now come to your class and now you have to do the checking, right? So here simple if conditions. So if O1 dot get registration amount is less than O2 dot, this is not a string. This is not a date. It is actual primitive type. Primitive types are value holders. So compare. So if it is less than this, what should I return, guys? +1, -1, or 0? Suruchi, what you have written will work for normal cases, but for large values, it will not work. So you do the comparison properly. Okay, so return -1. I said, if you reach the ranges of min double and max double, then that negative may not work. So this is, I mean, I would suggest this. If they are the same, okay, so now you can just do the copy pasting. If it is equal to this primitive, sorry, this I wanted to change. If it is equal, what should I return is 0, and otherwise you should return 1. This is the comparison based upon primitive type. So these are the value types. So if the first customer's registration amount is less than the second one, -1, same 0, otherwise +1. Done? Okay. So now you have done the whole thing. So you just have to run it. And sorry. Before running, we'll just print it again. Just print the list again. Otherwise, you'll not know whether it is working at all. So I'm saying list of customers sorted as per their registration amount. Okay, so just give some header so you'll know what it is printing, and let's see whether it is working at all. And I hope you realize the same list has undergone the change. There's no copy of the list at all. The same list has been shuffled as per the criteria. So let's check 500, 550, 590, 600, 790. Looks all good. So I'll keep the code and the output both in front of you. If anything is not clear, ask me immediately. -1. Abhishek, we have talked about it so many times. -1, when you return -1, a negative number, when the sorting criteria, first one, have I done it wrongly? O1's registration amount, if it is less than O2's registration amount, you don't want to shuffle. So that is -1. If they are same, that is return 0. So there won't be shuffling again. And if it is O1's registration amount is greater than O2, then shuffle, then pass the +1. Read the notes on compare. We have already said this. Any negative number, 0, or a positive number that way. Got it? Very good, Abhijit. Please run it, test it, and also once look into your bin file and you will see that anonymous inner class getting compiled, getting created and compiled. Working, guys, or not working? Done. Check it also. Working. Very good. I'm going to give a shortcut to this and we are going to stop here for lunch break. Can I show you the further shortcut? Or are people still working on it? Okay. So now observe. See here, I had to invest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So instead of that, see, I'm saying this. If you want to focus today on anonymous inner class, that's it. That's great. Very good. But if you want to even do some things with the shortcut where I don't have to do the actual comparison less than greater than, there is a way out. So suggestion is comment this. Okay. Control slash. Same in VS Code. You know that. Control and /. Okay. So this is done. Now don't do it with me. First, understand what I'm doing and then you can do. So tell me, this registration amount, is it a primitive type or is it a reference type of a variable? Not ternary, Avinash. Ternary is a wrong answer. You'll see. It's a primitive type. So primitive type, just observe. Don't parallelly type it. Give me a minute to explain. So if I say, see what I'm doing. My objective is get the same output but in a one-liner. Okay, so return, if I say O1 dot get registration amount. What is the data type of registration amount? Double, primitive double. So if I try to say dot compare to, it will not work. Why it will not work? That is because primitive types are not having any methods, anything. So of course it fails. So Is there any class equivalent to this primitive type? Answer is yes, wrapper class. Give me the name of the wrapper class which is equivalent to this. No, don't say integer. My registration amount, just take the cursor here. It is double. So now, you remember we have discussed on one of these days, I don't know, day 8, day 9, some of these days, the wrapper classes. And you know that your compiler can do the auto boxing from JDK 1.5 onwards. We are sitting in Java 11. But guys, compiler will do the auto boxing if it understands the need. So if you just write this much, compiler will never do it. So here you will have to do the casting, type casting. So here, observe. Again, I'm saying, don't do it. I'll wait for you. So here, listen to the questions. What is the data type of this highlighted one? Primitive double. But what is the data type of this entire one? Primitive or wrapper? P or W? It's a wrapper. Okay, so let's get it in to the proper, what is it, type. And then if you check, if you open your wrapper classes, they are already comparable. So now I can directly use the double classes compared to function. And here the beauty is, see this. That's why I told you, don't type along with me. First, give me a chance to explain. Here, do I have to do the boxing here, or is it is it getting automatically? Is auto boxing happening here, or do I have to explicitly box it? Answer is auto boxing. Why? Because just take the cursor to compare to, and it requires double. So listen to the statement carefully. Here, I had to give the hint to the compiler that I don't want the primitive type, I want a wrapper type. So this type casting was essential, compulsory. Compiler doesn't get it automatically. But this this boxing, this auto boxing was done by the compiler. So here, are we writing this comparison ourselves, or are we using the natural ordering criteria supplied by wrapper? Natural ordering criteria we are using supplied by wrapper. So if you run this application again, do you expect to see the same output or different output? I mean, same earlier this, of course, this 500, 550, etc. So now I'll give you the minute. After that, we are stopping for a lunch break anyway. So take a look at it and finish it. And if any one of you say that, okay, I'm not understanding it, I'll say, fine, no problem. We have already written this. We had already written. But if you want to optimize, reduce the number of lines, this is the suggestion. Complete it. Do the bracketing and all that properly. Just let me know whenever you have completed it. Completed means tried also. Java C automatically finding double in case of O2. How? Okay, Shubham, here. You know the term auto boxing. So what is auto boxing? It is the automatic conversion from primitive to wrapper. Okay. So here, see this. Here it could not do the auto boxing because it did not know that we wanted to box it. So Shubham or anyone, just take the cursor over compare to, please. And tell me, what is the argument type of this? Double, wrapper double. So the moment you are using compare to, compiler automatically understands, do you want here a primitive type or a wrapper type? P or W? What is it your compiler understands? A wrapper type. So this conversion This automatic boxing compiler does. But here, compiler did not have any understanding, did not have any idea that we did not want the primitive type, but we wanted a wrapper. So this typecasting we had to do explicitly. Am I clear, Shubham? Very good. So this is what we are stopping here immediately. Somebody said that I'll be uploading the code on Google Drive. And then, of course, we are taking here a lunch break. But you'll at least have that day 14.1 zip. And at the end of today, at the end of the last day of this year, of course, I mean, in the evening, I'll be uploading the full data. But in between also, you should have. So we are having a lunch break now and we'll resume at around 2:30 hours. So 1:31. So around 2:35. Let's make it as 2:35. So everyone gets a proper lunch break. And then I will start you on linked list and whatever topics we can cover in the remaining time. So are there any immediate questions before we take a lunch break? Okay, you can think over any questions. And before I start the next session after the lunch break at 2:35, you can ask me that. And otherwise, we will continue. So that will be all. See you after lunch break. Thank you.